great to see us come out with a win like that. You know, everyone kind of asks me like, oh, you're not playing as much, this and that. But, you know, for me, it's just like everybody that's getting to play on the field deserves to play. The whole tight room deserves to play. Me, Ryan, Masai, Bryce, like we all deserve to play. We've all got our balanced reps, and it's nice. It's great to be able to go out there and run. You get to run 2 plays as hard as you can, and then another guy comes in and does the same thing. So it's super cool to see. But, you know, it's just, for me, it's just like a learning experience. You know, like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. You don't got to play 60 snaps in the game to be effective. You don't got to play 50 snaps in the game to be effective. You can play 10 and you can still, you know, help your team win. So I think that's part of the biggest thing I've learned.
I was
self-critical, especially when you're young and you're one of the better players. From this experience, have you examined more about like how to maximize your own potential ability?
Yeah, I mean, and I think the biggest thing about that for me is like I try to remember like where I started when I first got here, and I didn't like blocking at all. I didn't want to I wanted to play tight end, but I didn't want to block. I was like, let everyone else do that. So, you know, I kind of had to, you know, grow there and grow up and be like, hey, like if you want to be a good tight end and you want to get drafted, you want to do all this stuff, like you're gonna have to like eat it. So, you know, I think that was kind of the big thing, even like spring ball, fall camp. But, you know, I was just trying to get better at that. And then obviously, like, I mean, probably the coolest thing that I've ever had happen to me was making that PFF team, and I didn't catch a pass, honestly. And I know we got our ass whooped, but so sorry. But still, like I never thought I'd be in that situation. So it's super cool. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is like you can go watch all the good plays and when you're done playing and all that cool stuff. But for right now, it's like trying to figure out the stuff I'm bad at, or the stuff I need to work on and get better at it. So that's kind of what I'm focused on right now. I'm initially, you know, learning with everything and like taking everything with a grain of salt. Like, you know what, like, hey, I didn't do this good, but next week we're going to go out and do it better. So
we took the trainer a few minutes ago. Obviously, he's a roommate. Can you just take us behind the scenes of those quarterback discussions last week leading up to
basically, I told him, I was, you know, a little over my head. I said I'm probably going to throw for more yards, probably more touchdowns, but, you know, I was just talking. So, but, you know, it was super cool. It's like weird, like being in there and it's like, hey, bro, like we're competing, you know, who plays more, like, you know, they might put me in if I play good. So it was funny just joking with them and didn't have a good time and like saying like, hey, don't throw a bad ball. Like they'll put me in. Like don't be scared. They see me in practice. So, but it was super cool. We got to talk about it. Obviously, got to watch a lot of film together and I got to ask a bunch of questions about like reading the ends and stuff like that. So it was super cool and it ended up working out obviously. So after the game, it was a good little laugh. I was like, I went 2 for 2 for 2 yards and I drew 2 PIs. So I'm 4 for 4 on the day. So.
Are you competing more with Trent or competing more with Cam?
I don't know. Scats might be beating us both right now. But no, it's just be all 3 of us. You know, like Scat came over and like we all just hang out, joke around, play Madden, and talk about football. We watched the game yesterday and we were all just talking about like, you know, how super cool that was that all 3 of us got to be like in that group and like throw a pass and get to play in the Rose Bowl and stuff like that. So it's a super cool moment. But yeah, I'm definitely competing against Scat right now. Scat has a touchdown, so you know, if I get to go back in a quarterback, my goal is to throw one. I got to at least tie it up. So.
What's it like having staff YouTube and stuff on a Tuesday, and you guys are out there running in the Rose Bowl on Saturday?
You said what?
Like staff that's like looking stuff up on YouTube, you know, the swinging gate from and then implementing it on Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. And I just want to say, I'm not gonna take credit, but I told him I ran swinging gate in high school. I told him that when he got here. So I was like, if you ever want to throw it, so I'm gonna take a little credit, but no. Coach Marv is like, he just kind of, he had told us like, hey, if you want to get your players out in space, you want to do something different, like that's something cool. So obviously Coach Dilly went and looked that up, and then we got to, you know, kind of experiment, play with it on Saturday, and it worked out. So, you know, it's obviously super cool. You know, I mean, like you don't see a lot of colleges like doing crap like that, like. Honestly, like I remember, like literally, I did it in high school at a 2A high school where I went to school with 28 kids. So like, it's you don't see that stuff. So like, you know, it's super cool, and obviously you get to see like sometimes, you know, when you put the right game plan together and stuff, like it's gonna work. So obviously it ended up working. We came out with a W. So you know, obviously we're on to Oregon now, but definitely super cool moment. It's a game I'll definitely never forget.
From my perspective, just to know that a coaching staff's gonna basically kind of look under every stone and kind of do everything possible to find out the best game plan, however unorthodox, put you guys in the best position to succeed.
It's awesome because it just tells you how much work they put in, especially, you know, I mean, shoot, we're dealing with so many injuries and so many nicks and this and that, like whatever. So, you know, it's just like for them to be able to go like, you know what, we got to go the extra mile to find something that's going to work, to put guys and players in spots that are going to be successful. So, you know, obviously it worked out. Like I didn't catch I caught 1 pass, but I got to run the ball for a lot of times. They got a lot of first downs. They got to do stuff like that. So, you know, it's just putting guys in spots that are going to help us be successful and win. And obviously, you got to see that Scats. I don't know if you want to call him a quarterback, but a wildcat quarterback, but he could throw it a little bit. But you know, I mean, it's just super cool. So, you know, I got told I had a really quick release. That made me feel really good. Someone told me I look like Aaron Rodgers, so I took it. And I was like, hey, I mean, I wear 12 for a reason. So, but you know, obviously, you know, the coaches did a great job. They had a great game plan. You know, I mean, shoot, they're being unorthodox, but hey, it worked. So, you know, obviously, they're going to keep that path going forward. We got obviously Oregon, and then a really good U of A team that we're going to get to play in the next 2 weeks. So we're excited to see what's going to come up and how the game plan's going to fit.
Gillingham acknowledged Saturday that earlier this year he challenged you to take steps forward. Now that you're some weeks removed from the tweet situation, I'm curious what you learned since then and how that moment might have what you took in terms of perspective.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd be completely honest. In the first couple of games, I sucked. I didn't play well. I didn't hustle. I didn't play hard. I mean, I was kind of just out there going with. I don't want to say going through the motions, but kind of just worrying about, where I wanted to be. I wasn't really like focused on my routes. Like I was worried about getting open instead of running the right route, doing this and that. So obviously having a meeting with him, getting to talk to him, and obviously after I was sick and the whole Colorado game situation, we kind of had to sit down and talk about like, hey, like this is what you need to do in order to be successful. And obviously a mutual respect between me and him, and a good friendship and a great relationship. He told me like, hey, this is what I want to see from you. And then, the next 2 games, I had 2 of the best games I've had. So probably the 2 best games I have had. I'm gonna count this past one too, just because I ran the ball good. But like, it was a challenge. I mean, he told me like, hey, you can either do this or like you can just, we can play Bryce, Ryan, and Messiah. And I was like, obviously, yeah, they deserve it. So, it's super cool. Obviously, we all deserve reps. We all did a good job. I think I've tried to do my best. Embrace the challenge. Keep moving forward. And obviously, me and him have always been had a great relationship. There's never really been any problems. Kind of just obviously there's miscommunication sometimes between players and coaches, but obviously me and him were able to have a conversation that did. Obviously it worked, and me and him are all good. And obviously I'm just trying to embrace this challenge and keep moving forward. And try to play my two best games these last 2 games.